From an undisclosed location in North America, you are watching the latest episode of Card to Card. So this is episode 17. We've actually done, this will be the 17th episode of Card to Card. Unbelievable. This week we're talking about a card that is in the MetaZoo Nightfall set, and it is Ludwig. And when I saw this card, kind of looks interesting. I have no idea, or I had no idea what a Ludwig was or anything. So, had to do some digging into it and find out more. And it's actually a pretty interesting story. The artwork there by the great Poncho does a lot of really cool artworks there for MetaZoo. So, this card is actually about Ludwig the Bloodsucker. And this was an urban legend in New York, which was in the mid to late 1800s. And tales of this creature still endure today. So this was a pretty long-lasting urban legend. So Ludwig the Bloodsucker, he's described as a mix between a leprechaun and a vampire. And is extremely hairy and has bristly black hair on his head, and also has vampire fangs. And he was described as being short and stout. And as the lore goes, in old-timey New York, outside the pubs, his victims were they were the drunken patrons from the local pubs, and he would actually attack these drunken victims and would actually get a buzz from the blood that he drank of the victims. So really scary stuff. Now, you can kind of think of it as sometimes urban legends are just, you remember like we talked about the beaver shark. It's just like a story to scare people. You know, maybe this was a local New York story to scare people that are at the pubs, warning them, hey, be aware of Ludwig the Bloodsucker that's out there. He's going to get you, you know, if you drink too much, he's going to drink your blood. Well, who knows? There may have been actual people that got attacked back then. I couldn't find any, like, newspaper records, so I'm not really sure the complete total origin of Ludwig the Bloodsucker, but really cool that they added that into the set. Yeah, so like you look on here. Well, we'll actually look at the details of the card later. Now, there was another. Now, it was also interesting. It was described as a cross between a leprechaun and a vampire. So, one thing I always think of when I hear the leprechaun is I always think of the Alabama leprechaun. And there's actually eyewitness account here. We have video of eyewitness account of the Alabama leprechaun. Let's go ahead and run that.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff. And it told me to get up in a tree and play a leprechaun.
Okay, so that was that was an eyewitness description of the Alabama leprechaun. Now, that was kind of just funny, but I do have some actual footage, and this is actual vintage footage, video footage, not video. I think it was just shot with a camera. Footage of Ludwig the Bloodsucker attacking one of his victims. Now, like we always say on the Sandyfrank channel, oh, yeah, I did not have any just regular photos of or artist renditions of Ludwig, but we did have this video, and it's a very rare old video. And just like we do whenever we show like really scary stuff or disturbing things, viewer discretion is advised. So let's go ahead and do we have it ready? Okay, let's go ahead and run that video of Ludwig the Bloodsucker actually attacking a victim. Okay, that was scary. All right. So, what do you guys think? Put down in the comments what do you think of this Ludwig character? Was this just a urban legend, just a story to get people to, you know, to scare people back in the 1800s in New York at the pubs, or did it have some sort of background and somebody actually attacking victims there, and some sadistic type of person that was like a living vampire type creature? Anyway, let's look at the find little hidden Easter eggs on this card now that we know the origins of Ludwig. So you can see there he's wearing a top hat. That's just like the video we saw. Wearing a top hat, very creepy. Now he looks like he has green skin on this artist rendition. He definitely has blood on his hands and mouth, and there is his hair coming out of his ears and a little tuft of hair on his head. And you can tell he's in, I guess this is going to be New York, kind of in the back alleys of New York where those pubs are. And it does say the date of birth, 1800, so that matches up. Manhattan, New York. And it also says, hunger is no reason to act uncivilized. That's the flavor text on there. So really cool artwork. I definitely have a more appreciation of this card. I probably never really noticed it much, except not knowing what Ludwig was. So now we know what Ludwig was. We've seen video footage. We've heard of, was the Alabama leprechaun, was that another type of Ludwig? That's another theory that could be out there. But anyway, the Alabama leprechauns are more just me having some fun. But, what do you guys think? Put down in the comments. What was Ludwig? Was he real? Was it just a story to scare people? What do you think? So I think that's a pretty good wrap on this week's episode of Card to Card. And if you're out in New York late at night at a pub and you're having to walk home, because you definitely don't want to drive home in those conditions, I'd get a cab, or else you're going to have to keep your eyes out.